Alright, this is the third page of the gizmo. It should say Activity A, continue from the previous page. Number 4, observe, switch the one location and look at the average precipitation of the graph for New York. So what you're going to do is go and select one location. It should say New York, but make sure New York is right there. Click on average temperature and go to the second one, which is precipitation. Describe this graph line. Is it the same as the last one, or does it have a different look? Write your answer in number 4, the shape. About how many inches of rain fall in a year? So you go back over here and you look about how many inches of rain fall in the year. You could either add all of these up and divide them by 12, or generally how much, what is the highest and lowest number, or what is that middle number that goes throughout the year. You can do either one and write that number in the precipitation. Make sure you write down the unit, which is in inches. So if you think it is 4.2, you would write 4.2 IN for inches. Select two locations and choose Barcelona for the second location. Based on what you see, which location is a wetter climate? So you go back down to two locations. New York is the area or location on the left, and Barcelona is the location on the right. Looking at this side of the graph and this side of the graph, which one has the higher precipitation? Is it New York or is it Barcelona? Write your answer right here. Number 5. Plants and animals have structures, behaviors, and other traits called adaptations that help them survive. For example, gills of a fish are an adaptation for living underwater, while lungs are an adaptation to living on land. Switch to the Landscape tab, choose one location, check New York is selected, click on the deer, squirrel, oak tree to learn about each organism and describe one way each organism is adapted to live in New York's climate. So you click on one location, go up to Landscape, click on the deer. It has strong legs to help it leap from about 2.8 meters or 9 feet and run at speeds of 75 kilometers per hour or 47 miles per hour. The antlers help the buck fight each other to mate with the does. The whitetails help to warn other deer while fleeing predators. Use a 4-chambered stomach to digest food such as leaves, grass, fruit, acorns, mushrooms, bark, and twigs. You can also look at the animal and see what different aspects of this animal might help it survive in New York. Clicking on the squirrel. The squirrel, this is the eastern gray squirrel. It has a bushy tails to help the squirrel maintain balance while running through the trees. Tails are also used for communication. Squirrels hide their food, acorns, seeds, nuts, tree bark, in caches for later use. They build nests called drays, which twigs and leaves. Drays help the squirrels stay warm in the winter and help to shelter the young. The northern red oak. Slow growing tree with dense wood that is very hard and strong. Leaves drop off in the fall and grow back in the spring. This reduces the water loss and helps the tree survive cold temperatures. Reproduces by producing acorns, which are packed with nutrients for the new seedling. So, out of the information I read, what was one adaptation or ability, physical or behavioral, that the white-tailed deer does to help survive New York's different seasons? Also, what does the gray squirrel do to survive the different seasons in New York? And lastly, what does the red oak do in the different seasons in order to survive New York's different climates? Number 6, observe. Return to the data tab for New York City only. There are two extra graphs, average yearly temperature and yearly precip. These graphs give a 30-year records for temperature and precipitation. The numbers in the other graphs are averages data from the last 30 years. All right, so we want to go back to the data tab, make sure that we have one location. We want to click on the average yearly temperature. So average yearly temperature. And we want to go and click on the yearly precipitation. Guess we just have to switch between the two when we want to see it yearly precip. So you'll be switching between the bottom two, average yearly temperature. Look at the average yearly temperature. What do you notice? So we are on the average yearly temperature, and this is 30 years of information. You can zoom in if it's harder to see, and you can look at what is happening to the temperatures as we go to 2017 or 2015. How do the average yearly temperatures compare to the estimate you made in question 3B? So look at the information that you have, go back up to 3B. These are the average. We're looking at the average temperature. Again, you wrote down a number here. So how does that number compare to the average temperature that you made earlier? Okay. Look at the yearly precipitation graph. What do you notice? So click on the average yearly temperature. Click on yearly precipitation. What is occurring? What do you notice about the rainfall in New York from 1987 all the way to 2015, 2016? Which year of the last 30 years is the wettest? So look through the graph. Which point is the highest? The highest is would give you more inches of rain or would be the wettest. So you need to look down here at the different years and scroll up or down in the chart to find your highest number. Once you find that number, write it here and make sure you include inches. The next question is, which is your driest year? So you would go back to your graph and you're looking for the lowest point in your graph. Try to look down to see what year it is, and then scroll up and down on the left data chart in order to find that year.